To um, do a little something, something before I call it a day today. It's been busy, busy, busy. Been running, 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 getting stuff done. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. I wanted to talk about something that I saw early. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. Um, there's a couple of things that I've seen before I get into the T.S. Madison, Tasha K situation. I am truly of the belief now that these people have these challenges so they can complain at the end and have a review. I think that people have the challenge, and then after the challenge, people complain or people talk about the rules. It's a big, big deal. And I think this is the new trend because I'm seeing it over and over again. There have only been a few challenges that I have viewed that went off without a hitch and people didn't really complain. But these new challenges, somebody always have to complain, and it seems like a review. And can I say something? I do not know why people even put themselves through some of these challenges because some of these judges are very catty, they're not professional, and their whole job is to demean and belittle. And I look at the people and I'm like, you know what you're going to get. So why even complain when you get on there? Because the people are going to give you, they're going to give you shade and all of this stuff for these challenges. So I'm of the firm belief now that these challenges are always have something so they can review it and talk about it. So that's where I'm with the challenges. I didn't even watch the seafood challenge, but now everybody mad and somebody said this, this, and this, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, it seems like the reviews and the after challenge reviews get better ratings than the challenges. So that's where I am with that. That's where I am with that. I see Reed has made a title. Girl, I'm not even listening to it. I said what I said. Bring concrete evidence and do what you need to do. Otherwise, it is what it is. Everybody can make a coin. Yada, yada, yada. You giving me the side eye. I'm giving you the side eye. I'm looking you up and down and everywhere else because, again, I didn't call you out your name. I haven't said anything disparaging about you. People have said numerous things about you. All I ask you to bring concrete proof and you act like that I'm asking you for $1 million. Moving right along. See how quick that was? Boom. No repeats. All right. T.S. Madison and Tasha K. I happened to watch Pierre and I caught the Tasha K snippet. I caught the Tasha K snippet and I was like, wow. What she said about T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison's house is dirty. Uh, how she put T.S. Madison on and all of this stuff. I mean, she really just said that. And then Pierre pretty much called her Kenneth and wanted to see if she had an Adam's apple. And I mean, he was pretty much shading her as well. And so I'm like, wow. So T.S. Madison did have a response. And I listened to T.S. Madison, and T.S. Madison went for children. She went for everything. She went for husbands. She went. She just went in. This is the thing, you all. I T.S. Madison said a couple of things. T.S. Madison said that Tasha K is pandering to those women because she knows that some women are going to go there. And she said Tasha K don't even like women, according to T.S. Madison, but she's doing this for clicks, views, coins, and all of this stuff. T.S. Madison said she did not move out of her house because her house was nasty. She moved out of her house because she was rich and she can afford it. And she said, and she still owns the one that she's not living in. And then she said that when Tasha K's house come up for sale, she's gonna buy it and boulder it down. I don't know if she's playing with that or not. She said that she never said Tasha was transphobic. She called out what she said about Tasha K, but she said transphobic was never one of those. She said she'll pay $100 per every time she said that Tasha K was transphobic if you can find the episodes. That's coming out of T.S. Madison's mouth. I heard her when she put that out. Also, um, she mentioned Tasha K mentioned that T.S. Madison did all these sex scenes and stuff in her basement and all of that stuff. And it goes to the Michelle stuff again. It sounds pure um, ATLian to me. Now, Tasha K, I rocks with Maddie. I like Maddie. I have met Maddie in person, and Maddie has been a sweet person. Maddie is about her business. Maddie is about her coin. But every time I've been in the presence of Maddie, she is really concerned about, did you enjoy yourself? When I was in Houston, and Maddie was performing her show in Houston. Madison made sure she spoke with me. She said, "Jay Wilson, did you really like the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, Maddie, it was good." She's really a hands-on person and really tries to connect with people. Maddie was cool. Okay. Now I've never met Tasha K, but I've met Maddie, and so I'm gonna try to see this in a non-biased way, knowing Maddie. So I'm just going to go on the things that I've seen. Besides Kaya, I haven't really seen Maddie fall out with anybody. And like I said, Maddie has always been a pleasant person. Maddie has never said that she was a woman and all of that stuff. Maddie was saying that she's a trans woman. Maddie is not trying to be XYZ. She's not trying to replace a woman. Maddie knows who Maddie is. And Maddie is definitely not insecure about who she is, at least not in my presence. Okay? Now, I will say this Tasha K, I don't have any out with you. We really don't. I have not agreed with all of your moves. Didn't agree with the Cardi B thing. I told you from jump that that's not a good move. And when you said you believe that woman, I'm like, a lawsuit is going to be pending soon because you are attacking these people's product. I don't care what Cardi B was. I can just tell you what she is now. She sells records, and she is the property, if you will, or the employee of her record company. And I knew that it was going to be a lawsuit. I just felt it because of what you were saying. I have seen you fall out with Wiley, Armand Wiggins, Storm Monroe, Larry Reed. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. You have fallen out with a lot of people. Lovely T. A lot of people, a lot of people, and no one seems to get along with you. Now, this is not rumor. We saw it before our very eyes. And I'm listening to what you said about T.S. Madison. And I don't even know why you would even bring T.S. Madison up on that man's show. But, you know, I don't know. I just think you do stuff to piss people off and to just make your name or put it out there because any publicity is better than none. Now, T.S. Madison said a few things. T.S. Madison said, I have a home. T.S. Madison said, at this particular point, you live in an apartment. And she said a whole lot of other stuff. And I'm going to say this. I like Tasha K and I like Maddie. And I attribute Maddie and Tasha K for putting me on. Now, we know how the B sector starts, but I was really helped with the Tasha K and the Cardi B situation. So I would be remiss if I didn't give Tasha K her props because of the Cardi B situation, it brought views over. And this is when I had my old page. I would have probably been at about 25,000 people. But hey, that's water under the bridge. I'm cool. But I just think that at the end of the day, let 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 Maddie be Maddie. Now, pound per pound, Maddie is doing better than you, at least in the arena of entertainment. Maddie has her show just like you have your show. Maddie has been in a motion picture. You haven't. Maddie has met with celebrities. Maddie has gone on college campuses to talk about transgender issues and sexuality. Where have you been? And the sad part about it is both of these women are from Florida. They're from Florida. But what I'm seeing is somebody trying to tear somebody else down to build themselves up. And then Pierre pretty much shaded you. And I just think that you you're building enemies. Yes, Maddie's voice is on Beyonce's song. Maddie has done a lot of stuff. I knew Maddie was gonna win when she was doing her tours, and all of the other people were at her. And I'm gonna say this: Maddie and Funky Dineva, they have done a lot. And regardless of how you think or what you think about them, those people have worked their butt off to get to where they are. And I think Tasha K worked her butt off, but unfortunately, Tasha K was willing to take some risk that she didn't calculate. And I think that Tasha K is a short term thinker and not a long term thinker. And I think Tasha K has worked hard, but it is sad that you've gotten all of this only to be sued and sued again and really just running from all of this stuff and hiding and doing appeals and probably putting money one place so people can't get it or and I just think that they're both successful. But somebody thought long term and somebody thought short term. Now, let me address this. Women, heterosexual women in this chat. First of all, I respect you. Yes, I have fought with you all because this is the platform. This is what we do. But A, I don't want to be a woman. That's number one. B, I'm not jealous of anything that you all have. I'm not. I respect women. This is why I get a little ticked off when I see certain people dog these women out. And I'm going to say this in the B sector, we have been fighting everybody for years. Not only have I fought with women, straight, lesbian, I have fought with men, straight, and gay. We have fought. You can't say that nobody in the B sector has not fought a man, or when we do that in the B sector, it is EEOC, equal opportunity, equal equal opportunity over here. Pretty much equal opportunity. We don't care. We're gonna fight. But one thing we haven't done to women is mess with women's emotions and toy with women and sleep with women only to say that they stuff tastes like mustard or have them to be locked out of a car begging for cash app to get back to the hotel. I look at what some of these guys have done, and I sit there in just shock. And what really makes me stand and just observe and say, wow, is that if you all think, or if this person declares that they have heterosexual peen, as we would say, y'all go there. And then you all will even dog out your B sector brothers to gain these people's acceptance, only to be dogged out by these same men. And then the gays are always there to be like, no, you ain't gonna talk to the sister like that, or you want somebody to protect you, and I don't believe you let this person on. And I find that very disingenuous. So for the people who can really see what's going on and are logical thinkers, I ain't mad at y'all. Don't hate women at all. And I can understand what Maddie is saying because people get it twisted. I think Maddie is an admirer of women. I think she loves women. I just think that people get it twisted, and Maddie is one to speak her mind and not gonna let people run over her. Or I've seen this. I've seen this over and over and over again. They don't like gay people, but they want gay people to do their hair, or they want gay people to be their personal shopper. And I've seen so many gay men who are in the beauty industry who beat these women faces, who do their hair, and then the women are okay with them in the shop, but when they get somewhere out in public, then they get with these people, I guess, to blend in. And I've seen that, and it's hurtful. And so now people step back and don't want to be a part. And I'm not saying that that's all heterosexual women. I just have seen that. I've seen that. Also, the first thing people want to do, and this is why I have really left the lemon thing alone, is use sexuality as a read or as something that's less than. And I'm like, really? Is that what you're doing? I was very surprised that a content creator was saying that I was just coming out. No, I don't lead with my sexuality. I don't have to. But I thought that it was very disingenuous that you want to say somebody's coming out, but you buying a lady a whole laptop and want to eat her box, and yet you straight. When are you gonna come out? I just have you see the game people play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you buying a whole lady this, and this lady is saying that she pimping you, but yet when are you coming out? You let a whole content creator grab you by your cheeks and you rubbing against her clitoris, and that what's that all about? So I find it very funny, and some women know they can do that because they know that if they're not a hard stud but a lipstick lesbian, they may be able to get away with that, and I think that's very interesting. So, and I'm not saying that the brothers who are same gender loving are not without fault, but I can only tell you about my experience. And so, based on my experience, and this is my experience, I'm not saying this is this experience of all LGBTQIA people. This is my experience. Some, and notice I said some, people do this. They do this. Yeah. And Rockwell, I'm sorry gay people make you cringe, but you don't know all gay people. And people who are closed minded, they make me cringe. And I don't understand how gay people make you cringe. So should you not be in this room? Should you be somewhere else? So if you agree with that, that's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want to. But I understand where Maddie is coming from. And nobody can tell you how you should be, and if they never had to walk that path. Ain't no straight man gonna sit up here and tell me I'm wrong and da da da, and you ain't never been gay. Absolutely not. I will never let somebody do that. And my thing is, I think people really have a problem. You know, I look at these people and I'm like, whoever people want to be, this is America. Your religion dictate what people should do. Your religion is not the law. That's your conviction. That is not for everyone. So I don't tell people not to follow their religion, but everybody doesn't have to subscribe to that because that's your belief. But this is America, and people should be free to be who they want to be. Long as they're paying their taxes and they are civil, I don't have no issue. And that's the truth. Let people be who they are. Now, when you stop trying to let people express themselves and be who they are, then people need to limit you. And we don't ever want to be limited, but we want to limit other folk. And I just think it's completely wrong. So if Maddie wants to keep her appendage in her breast and that's what she wants to do, that is Maddie's business. It don't have nothing to do with you. Maddie ain't related to none of y'all. You don't pay her mortgage. You don't do any of this stuff. This is the United States of America, and people are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Period. Period. So all I'm saying is what I'm saying. And America is not a religious country. This is why we have a democracy. And this is why, and I'm going to tell you what, when we get to the point where churches are making political stuff, then they need to start paying taxes. And that's a strong, that they need to start paying taxes. I'm already there with the Catholic Church. I believe they need to start paying taxes because they have lobbyists over there for reproductive stuff. And if you make these churches pay taxes, their tunes will change. But nobody has the right to tell anybody how they should live their life in America. Period. And what Tasha K did was a cheap trick. How can you smile in Maddie's face and then talk about her like a dog? And at least Maddie was real of saying what she was saying. And so, you know, yeah, it's almost like what Kim Burrell tried to do to Yolanda Adams. And Tamron Hall had to stop Kim Burrell and said, wait a minute, Yolanda Adams is a personal friend of mine, and I know her, and what you're not going to do. And Tamron Hall handled that. And I don't know why Kim Burrell didn't think. Tamron Hall is from Texas. Tamron Hall is like an hour away from Houston. You know, and again, this woman who's supposed to be so godly and religious, nasty as hell, and trying to throw other folk under the bridge. Now, if you don't agree with Maddie, then don't go over there and look at her. But trying to use Maddie to rile up women where you're really not, you're about Tasha K's side, I think that's a joke. itsy bitsy. I don't even worry about Rockwell. Rockwell is a whole troll, and I'm gonna let him do what he needs to do. I ain't mad at him. I said what I said, and I think what Tasha K did was really below the belt. It was not professional, and it goes to show you why people don't trust her. And this is why she has lost so many friends. So if you don't like Maddie as a trans woman, then you probably hate Armand Wiggins guts because he gay. So I'm looking at you and I'm like, well, you hate everybody then. I'm assuming. So I really agree with Maddie on what she was saying. And Maddie has had to go through a lot of junk, and it has not stopped Maddie from being successful and doing what she needs to do. And I applaud Maddie. And that's what we really need to do, whether you're straight, gay, or what. You need to just look beyond that adversity and keep on winning, regardless of what people are saying. And nobody's trying to compete with women. Why should I compete with a woman? I don't need to compete with a woman. And half the men that y'all dating, half of them men sleeping with men. Not all of them, but a great deal of them are. So why should somebody try to compete with something? That's the sad part about it. And what Rockwell is doing right now is why a lot of men who sleep with men will never come out, because of this situation, these men will go underground, and then as soon as somebody gets something that they can't get rid of, they want to blame the gay men. And no, no, your husband, your boyfriend is a man sleeping with a man. He does not identify with the LGBTQIA population, and he's a man sleeping with a man. And this is what pisses me off, because the MSMs are the ones who are getting heterosexual women sick. Ain't no gay man up there sitting up there messing with some woman. And he, if he's bisexual, then you've given the woman a choice to say, I want to be with you or not. But when you got these men playing in your face, and they're men sleeping with men because of the Rockwell, the universe type attitude, and then they go underground, and then somebody gets sick, don't blame the gay community, because that's a man sleeping with a man. They don't identify as gay. And gay people shouldn't take that L because of that. But that's what y'all have caused some of these men to do. And I'm just being real about that. So whether you like what I say or not, I know it to be true. Pastors up there preaching against it, but then after service talking about something, what you doing after service. I'm like, did you just preach? See, and this is why I don't let y'all get me with the religious stuff and all that. Whatever. I don't even argue with people anymore. And you can't tell my story because you ain't never dealt with it. And that's it. And if it's so easy not to be gay, then you straight, then you be gay. Because you're telling me it's a choice, and if there's a choice, then that means you can switch what you can do as well. But it's not natural to you. So it is what it is. And I'm just glad I don't think in those boxes anymore. And I'm glad that I have enough logic and sense to say, you know what, I don't need this right there. I'm a free person. I can think how I want to think. And this is why I live in America, so I can do this. And I don't have a problem with people thinking like that individual Rockwell. I'm not mad at it. But nobody wants to be a woman. Maddie is a trans woman. And that's who she wants to be. That's her expression, and she has every right to be that, whether you like it or not. And America is truly the land of freedom. And I just wanted to say that. And the sad part about it is I don't even think Tasha K, I just think that Tasha K is being a whole troll and just using it for some publicity and to stir up some controversy, because that's the kind of person she is. And those are my thoughts. Beth said, this is why I thank God for all negative results, and I love being single. These men are dangerous these days. Loving myself. Yeah. Yeah, Maddie mentioned that as well, and Maddie said a lot of stuff, but Tasha K said some things as well, and I thought it was very interesting. And I think that's what it is, Beth. That let me tell you something. Maddie is loved by many, and Maddie loves many. Maddie deals with bigots and people like that on a one-on-one basis. And unfortunately, let me tell y'all something. And women, hear me out. A lot of these women who are preachers, ooh, that's some serious thunder. A lot of these women who are preachers, they get more flack from women than they do men. They get more flack from women than they do men. So women can't even support women, unfortunately. And that's a sad situation. Because most women who are in ministry that I talk about say, hey, you know, I get more flack from women than I do men. And this is my observation and my experience. But sometimes we are our own worst enemies. And that's what I'll say about that as well. Now, if you got a man and if your man loves you, I don't care if it was 50 maddies, your man gonna love you. And you need to be really concerned about these women taking your man and all of this stuff. It's really interesting that when it's a transgender individual, we have a whole field day. But I have known women to take, and then again, not only that, but you know, I just think that people are so wrapped up into this, and I think it's really funny if you ask me. And I'm not dogging women out. I'm just telling you what some women folk have told me who are in the ministry. Let me tell y'all this, and I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women in church, baby, just like men come to church to find a woman, some of these women go to church to find a man. I never forget, and I told this story, but I'm going to tell this story again. I worked for a company, and I had to go to the convention in Memphis, and I was at Houston, and I took my paid volunteers out because they were going to man the company's booth at the convention in Memphis. And so I had my two head captain volunteers there. And the lady who was in charge of organizing the booths met me at Houston. And baby, if looks could kill, that woman would have been unalive in 1 second flat. So I was wondering what all this tension was. I'm like, where's all this tension with this woman? What's going on with this woman and everything? Baby, when she went to the bathroom, one of the volunteers said, I can't stand that hussy. She said that itch slept with my best friend's husband, and she want to call herself an evangelist. I just sat there like, what? For real though? Again, a lot of stuff is happening in church, and we let stuff go. And I'm telling you what, some of our churches are in worse shape than a lot of other places. And so all I'm saying is we all got to get to maturity. And nobody don't have the right to be judging anybody because, like God said, He'll separate the wheat from the tares. He will do it. That ain't my job. And if you think people wrong, continue to pray for them. But let God do the separating. And my thing is, if Maddie wants to be Maddie, and if she's a trans woman, then if this is America, she has every right to be who she wants to be. Maddie ain't breaking down none of in y'all spaces. I'm just saying. So that's how I feel, and I'm just looking at this, and I'm looking at Tasha K, and when I heard Tasha K said what she said, I'm like, that's rude. I'm like, has Maddie been talking about Tasha K and all of this stuff, and you know, and I know Maddie said that if you talk about me, I'm gonna match it, and I'm gonna talk about you. Maddie also said when she was going through her situation, she did her best not to talk about it, not to bring it up, but yet this is what Tasha K does. And I thought that was interesting too. So to me, this is not a straight, and this is how people try to play this. Straight women against trans women, gays against women. And again, I'm not against anybody. I'm against ignorance. I'm against bigotry. I'm against racism, but I'm not against women at all. And I'm just telling you all the truth. And Maddie's biggest fan base is women. So I just think that, Tasha K in this situation is grasping. I just thought it was like really out of the ordinary. And then Pierre was sitting up there roasting her. He called her Kenneth. He called her Kenneth and asked to see if she had an Adam's apple. And I'm like, well, damn. Exactly. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. She benefited from the lovely tea debacle. Tasha K benefited from her own straight women. Tasha K benefited from the debacle with Armand Wiggins. It seems like she benefits from always fighting people. And as long as I have been in YouTube and have seen Tasha K, she's always been fighting. And people have always said, this is why I don't need nobody to be mentoring me and all of this stuff, because it seems like everybody who she mentor is either control issue or I want you to do no better than what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you the little scraps, and that's what I'm gonna give you. And that's how I feel about that. Yeah, the Storm Monroe situation, all of that kind of stuff. So I really agree with Maddie, and I'm telling you, I know people like, well, Jay, you gonna agree with Maddie because she's in the LGBTQIA community. No, I just agree with Maddie because Maddie is trying to make her coin, and Maddie ain't trying to mess with nobody. But it seems like um, trans women are trans women. We'll see who it goes to next. But no one ever talks about these black men who get y'all pregnant and then don't want to pay no child support. Everybody's really concerned about trans women and gay men, but we ain't up here popping out children and leaving folk with child support and ain't paying. Or we don't sit there and leave you and you don't have nothing. We ain't impregnating you. Nobody ain't saying nothing about these men who got all of these baby mamas and will date you and then go lay up with somebody else. See, that's the real deal right there. Because I ain't never known no trans man to be sitting up there popping up babies every this is third. I know trans men have kids, but they are not on a consistent basis popping up and getting y'all pregnant. I'm just saying. I'm sure they do like Tasha K. I don't have Tasha K, to be honest. I just think Tasha K don't think about her long term game, and everything is short term thoughts. We'll do it now and we'll think about it later. So those are my thoughts, and like I said, these are my opinions. But I say this because I see the plays. It's divide and conquer. It's divide and conquer. It's divide and conquer. They trying to take your man. They trying to take your femininity. They trying to take all of this from y'all. Nobody can take nothing from no one. Nobody can take nothing from you at all. At all. And those are my thoughts. So anyway, y'all, what else is going on? And those are my thoughts. I just saw Tasha K and what she did, and I thought it was real kind of grimy. I thought it was really, really grimy. Look at how she did Larry Reed. Now let me say this, y'all. I'm not a fan of Larry Reed. I watch him, but and what I mean by I'm not a fan of him, I don't believe in selling prophecies. Call me for a $50 prophecy, and I don't. And then there's some things that he's done where I'm like, why are you doing this? However, she did dupe him as well. So I just think it's a lot of things. Somebody said I used to live Tasha K right back and love Tasha K before back 2016 or 17, before she came the person she is today. I love Tasha K. I love watching Tasha K. But I guess people evolve. I used to like watching Larry Reed when Vincent, aka Buddha, was on, and when Buddha kind of went his way, I stopped watching Larry a little bit. But nothing good lasts forever. Things change, they evolve. I get it. I got you, Beth. I know what you was talking about. Beth Dutton, a lot of people feel that way. Mean for no reason. But you know what? I see the same thing. Um, I see the same thing in some of our B sector content creators. It's just the mean, nasty viciousness. This is why I don't know why these people get in these competitions. Because these people gonna talk to you in a nasty way because they got power, and if they can belittle you and make you feel some kind of way, that's what they're gonna try to do. And that's why I don't understand why people get in. So who is the gay light skinned man who has a show and he's very controversial? And he's a vlogger as well. Is it Jason Lee? I think that's his name, Jason Lee. Now I watch Jason Lee, and Jason Lee seems a little vindictive as well. And see, I don't agree with what all gay people do. I don't. And I heard him say something, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. That seems vindictive and nasty to me. And I think that's the thing with these vloggers and these people who are hungry for Hollywood. They do anything for a come up. They will they will knife, claw, um, slap your teeth out just to make it, and they don't care who they got to step over to make it. Yeah, I didn't care for. Mm, let me tell you what gay man that I do like. Can I tell you which gay man I do like? And he light skinned too, and it's not because I got something against light skinned people, but I just think that we can't even use that. I love Clay Kane. I love me. I know that's not the right usage, but I'm gonna say it. I love me some Clay Kane. I like his book that I'm gonna buy. I like his show. I love Clay Kane. Clay Kane over Jason Lee any day. I've just seen Jason Lee attack people and go there for with folk, and I just think he's really interesting. To me, Jason Lee is a tamer version of Bobby Light. So yeah, Clay Kane is phenomenal. If you don't know who Clay Kane is, he is on Sirius XM on Urban View, and he has a show called The Clay Kane Show. Clay Kane is a same gender loving man, and Clay Kane actually had a whole show on sexuality and the church. And Clay Kane really talked about that, and he talked about his experience. Yeah, so Clay Kane is part of the LGBTQIA community, and I think Clay Kane is awesome. And what I like about Clay Kane is he doesn't lead off with his sexuality. Clay Kane will be a political commentator. He is a pop culture observer. So I love Clay Kane. I think he's awesome. Clay Kane is on Urban View. He has a book called Grifters, um, and it deals with the Republican Party and how it changed. Clay Kane is he's a sharp, intelligent brother, and I think you all will like him because Clay Kane is intelligent. He knows how to handle himself, and I like him. So if you don't know who Clay Kane is, ClayCane, check him out on Urban View on Sirius XM. Also, you can type him up on YouTube, and I think some of his shows are actually on YouTube. And I think you can follow him on Facebook as well. Yeah, Urban View, channel 126. I'm glad I can mention him because gay people are not monolithic. So, and this is my thing. If you are a flamboyant gay man, be who you are. If you are a gay man who, is not flamboyant, be who you are. If you're a gay man who is giving metrosexual tendencies, be who you are. And I really believe that because even in our community, there is discrimination. And people may not think that, but there's discrimination on race. There's discrimination on if you are femme or masculine. Baby, they discriminate against, if they can find something different, that's where they go. And so this is why, even as a black man, I am not drinking the Kool-Aid because I do know that gay white men play a major part. I feel like gay white men hijacked the Stonewall riot movement. That movement was trans women. Trans women was getting their tail beat and fighting, and people of color, as they were saying, and low wealth individuals, while those wealthy gay men was sitting there drinking and watch them getting their tails beat. But now they have hijacked the whole movement because there's money to be made off that movement. Hey, that's just the real of it. Racism is everywhere. It doesn't stop just because you gay. Come on. Are you black first or you gay? First of all, I fight it everywhere. So it is what it is. I came in the whole package. Boom, here it is. Yeah, Clay Kane is awesome. And if you don't know who he is, you need to find out. When I tell you he's intelligent, when I tell you he talks about the political landscape and he talks about social issues, I mean, he's up there with Karen Hunter and, it's some more people that they have shows. I miss Joe Madison. Sexual man, but I love Joe. But you can tell when Joe was getting ill, he was a little short with people. Joe used to get irritated at people a lot, and when he started getting irritated at people, I would have to change him because it was like, "Ooh, Joe, you sounded really angry and upset. Let me turn this," and then I would turn back. But I love Joe Madison. I thought Joe Madison had a good show too. Rip Joe Madison, rest in peace, Joe Madison. So I love watching, listening to Urban View. I like to listen to POTUS, Progressive, and the Patriot channel, even though the Patriot is very much red conservative. I like listening to their viewpoint to hear what they're saying. So, yeah. Well, look, y'all, this is all I really want to say. I am almost home. It's getting ready to rain. I'm so glad I'm getting home before all this rain starts coming down. So it's getting ready to rain real hard around here. But let me say this, you all. Let people be who they want to be. If T.S. Madison is a trans woman, then I am going to use her pronoun and I'm going to be respectful. It don't cost me a dime to be respectful to people. It don't cost me a dime at all. And it's funny. Let me tell y'all something. We call these people doctors and they ain't even earned a bachelor's degree yet. But we'll, baby, we will hit it hard. You know, there's some people you better call them evangelists or you better call them Reverend Doctor. I mean, because we love them titles, and half of these folk ain't even that either. But yet we'll do it. I'm just throwing that out there. Professor, and you ain't teach not one real college class. A professor is a person who teaches at academic, yeah, and they on a level. So my thing is, you a fool, and people don't even know that, y'all. People don't even know that. So in the academic setting, you have a visiting professor, you have an instructor, or so first of all, you have a lecturer, then you have an instructor, okay? Then you have an assistant professor, then you have an associate professor, and then you have a professor. And in order to be a professor, you have a lot of writings and you have contributed to research. And a lot of people never make it to the realm of professor because they may not have enough written work. And a professor becomes a person who is, it's really a job unless the university closed or you do something very, 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 bad, but that's it. So even with that, an assistant professor, associate professor, and full tenured effect, it's called the tenure track. So people talk about something they professor, and I ask, are you an associate professor, or assistant professor, associate professor, or are you a full professor? And they can't even answer. And so when they say they professor, I'm like, so what body of work have you written? What articles have you written? Have you been on any news shows? They be like, what? And I'll be like, mm-hmm. And I ain't trying to be funny, y'all, but see, it's just knowing. It's just knowing.